नमः। मन्नाथ श्री जगन्नाथः मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरुः मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुरादिर्नादिश्च गुरुः परमदैवतम् गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव।
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Now we are in the portion, very interesting portion in the Mundakopanishad, which talks about the difficulties or the finitude of karma. We already started to look into that particular section in the last class. Karma is wonderful because without karma one cannot sit even for a second. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, karma is awesome, karma is wonderful, but ... it brings with it a finitude which, if it is not recognized, then one gets into a lot of trouble. And this is what we have seen, and we are continuing to see, because this portion is a very important portion, showing that since karma is finite, the results of action are also equally finite, because the results of action are not going to be infinite. The results of action are also finite, and the action itself is finite. So the results of action, how can they be infinite? They cannot be infinite. And so this is what one has to understand. So the point is not to give up karma. The point is to convert karma into yoga, meaning use the karma for one's own growth. Do it from a place of, do it from a place of needing some kind of an internal transformation, and then the karma really blesses. This is where the Upanishad wants us to go. And to this effect, a few verses talking about the finitude of karma and how the karma does not really bless, does not help, are highlighted, and in the Upanishad's own way, very poetically and beautifully. So mantra 127 talks, we have started to look into that. So mantra 127 talks about the how we cannot have a boat made of karma phala. If you craft a raft made of karma phala, what will happen? It will fall apart. This is what is being talked about. And so the next several verses, until I think next 5, 6 verses, are going to talk about the difficulties with the karma and everything, and then bring the person on a on a path of knowledge. And because karma devoid of yoga means, yoga here means a certain kind of background knowledge is there, that I need personal growth, etc. And the background knowledge that the karma is finite, if that is not there, karma that is not backed by wisdom, Adi Shankara says, is going to lead you to heinous ends. Let us see what they are. Let me share the text. So this is the verse here. प्लवाह्येते अदृढा यज्ञरूपाः अष्टादशोक्तम् अवरं येषु कर्म एतच्छ्रेयो येऽभिनन्दन्ति मूढाः जरामृत्युं ते पुनरेवापि यन्ति. Plavaha. Plavaha means anything that helps, like a vehicle that helps you to carry something. Plava means a boat. Nauka, boat. And so this boat is ete. Ete means these. Plavaha plural. Ete plavaha. These boats. These boats are what? Adridhaha. Adridhaha means you cannot get into them. Adridhaha means they are wobbly. They are dridha, stationary and stable, so that you can climb into it. And then even otherwise, when the boat is docked on the, near the port, as you get from the port into the boat, it will wobble a little bit. But here, these are just so wobbly, it will throw you off. And they look extremely flimsy. It's just a few logs, the same logs that you used for the yajna, those logs in the form of karmaphala, those logs are there stapled together by a little bit of shraddha, because everybody doesn't have a lot of shraddha. So these logs are there, and then whatever you have logged in terms of karmaphala is there, and then so these boats are extremely fragile. You just put a little bit, and then what? Gone. And then, so what are these boats? These boats are yajna rupaha plavaha. Ete, he, indeed, ete means these are what? These are adhridaha. Plavaha adhridaha. Dridhaha, certain. They are there. They are very much, you can bank on them. Here, adhridaha means you cannot bank on karma phala. If you bank on karma phala to get you some kind of an infinite end, you will be infinitely disappointed. Infinite you will get, definitely, in the form of infinite disappointment. This is the idea. That's the only infinite you will get. And then, what is this yajna rupaha? What is this yajna rupaha is explained. Ashtadasha uktam avaram. Avaram karma. So this yajna rupaha is not, see, first up till here we have drishtanta. So plavaha ete adridaha. The boats are very uncertain. What kind of boats? Yajna rupaha plavaha. The boats in the form of these yajnas that you have been performing. So much so that your right hand has got repetitive stress injury of keeping on offering ghee after ghee after ghee after ghee. And then you have some rotator cuff problem, and you have to go to chiropractor, physiotherapist, etc. So that much yajna you have done. So that you have some kind of a chronic repetitive injury, and then so this is the this is, so, and you want it to translate into afterlife. I don't know what this obsession is with afterlife. This life itself is enough. There are many problems in this life that need to be solved. There are many things that are going wrong, but then people are still have free time to ponder and contemplate and make a reservation in the afterlife. I want my afterlife to be okay, and at least this life is not permanent. That much is evident. All you have to do is look in the mirror, or all you have to do is look at photos from old albums. Nowadays, thankfully, nobody has albums. So you can get trigger happy and keep on clicking. Before, one group photo, everybody would be there in one group photo, and then you just say smile, and then you click. And then because it was expensive, you have to go somewhere to get it developed. In some Purva Yuga, in the previous Yuga, you had to go there to get it developed. So you couldn't just waste and click so many things. Now it's all digital. And so then, even if you had your eyes closed, that was how it was. You were in samadhi in the picture, nothing could be done. It was there. And then that photo would be carefully put in an album. Now we don't have albums, we don't have time for them, we don't care for them because it's all on the phone. It's all on the phone. And 100 pictures of one single group will be there. But those of you who still have albums, look at an old photograph and then you will immediately see, oh no, and this is, this body is impermanent. And so, some people, what do they want to do? The Upanishad says they want to make the afterlife permanent. And they hope that all this repetitive injury of offering ghee repeatedly into the yajna will pay off and make it permanent. And Upanishad says, no. So, why yajna rupaha karma, yajna rupaha plava? And what does that translates to? Translates into karma. What kind of karma? Avaram karma. Avaram means inferior karma. Oh, I thought yajna was religious karma and it was wonderful. How come it is inferior karma? It cannot be inferior karma. Inferior karma, no. Inferior means with devoid of knowledge, Adi Shankara says. Devoid of knowledge, it is inferior because here you don't have the knowledge of self growth, you don't have the knowledge that karma is finite. Therefore, devoid of this wisdom, it is inferior. And then, so the karma has a few words qualifying it. Ashtadasha uktam and avaram. Avaram we saw. Yeshu, for whom? For whose karma is what? Avaram, whose karma is not backed by the wisdom of its the finitude of karma phala. And Ashtadashoktam. What is this Ashtadashoktam? That which comprises 18 elements. So in every karma, there are 18 elements. What are these 18 elements? These are just the people present at the yajna. So we have four priests from each each Veda. Four Rig priests, Hotru. Four Samaveda priests called Udgatru. Like this, all these names are there. And then four, Atharva Veda priests called Advaryu. And then Yajurveda priests also have some names. So all of these, these Hota, Udgata, all these are priests. And there are four priests from each Veda because there's so much chanting. And then each one picks up when the other one is, tired or lags behind. And then so these form 16. And who are the other two? The husband and the wife doing the yajna. So 18. Yeah, both of them have to be together. In fact, without the wife, the husband cannot do the yajna. He has to be married in order to perform the yajna. But these days, you don't see the wife anywhere because she's busy making the naivedyam. And even then, they call the wife. They call the wife and say, please bless the ghee. It is believed that if the lady of the household just looks at the ghee is purified. You don't have to do some achamanam and then, sprinkle some water and purify the ghee. You purify everything else. But the lady of the household, when she just looks at the ghee, it gets purified and ready for offering. So there is a ritual, Patnyaha Ajya Vikshanam. Ajya Vikshanam means, Ajya means ghee. And so when the wife looks at the ghee is instantly purified. So the wife will be doing other things because, the husband is not going to go cook and make naivedyam. So the wife will be busy in the kitchen, but then she is called for this ritual. Please come and look at the ghee. And then that is how it is. But the women are supposed to sit along with the husband and do this, along with their husbands and do this. So that is 18. So these 18 factored karma, even though you have spent so much to pay for the priests, I tell you, the priests are not cheap, because according to their seniority the dakshina has to be given, and you can't give same dakshina to all. Next time they will not come. That's an insult. So according to the seniority, the senior most priest has to get more money, and then the next one in line, the next one in line. How do you know which one? So that's why you just give the senior priest everything and ask them to divide it amongst themselves, because they will know exactly whom to give what and how much. So then this is the kind of a situation. Then the yajna leaves a very big mess. There is ghee everywhere. In fact, that was the first oil spill in history, the first yajna. And then you have to be so slick that whole floor has to be washed, and all the fruits and the flowers and the food and everything has to be cleaned up, nicely disposed of. The guests are there, they have to be served until your back breaks. You have to keep on serving the guests and everything. It leaves a huge mess. Why does it leave a mess? Because we are not Japanese. The Japanese yajna is like a bonsai yajna. I don't know if you have seen, but it's so cute. And all the wood sticks are this size, just a finger size wood sticks, not longer than your index finger. The Japanese yajna is a sight to behold. Because once I was invited to go to Peru to do this interfaith yajna, and there was this Japanese leader, some Mataji, who had come. And then she looked so frail and so elderly, and she must have been 80, 85. And then I thought, how is she, poor thing, how is she going to sit and do yajna? Because I was told she speaks very little English, but she's the one who's going to officiate the yajna. I said, how is she going to do? Where is the energy? And she'll sit in front of so much fire, because I was imagining our yajna. But then, all the yajna dravyas came out. First, the Homa Kunda came out, which was just like 4 inches by 4 inches. That's all, small, cute little thing with nice designs and everything. And that was kept. And then just 4 sticks, finger size, your own index finger, not, and all neat shape, the same shape, same size. 2 bundles of these sticks came. 4 of them were just put like this, crisscrossed, and over that a little spray of ghee came, melted ghee in a spray bottle. So they sprayed the wood with the ghee so that it will light up quickly. And then a small matchbox came, and then 3 4 flowers came, and that's it. And then and then she just lit it and then said some Buddhist mantras, and it was so cute. The fire would not go beyond half an inch. Forget Yada, Lela, Yate, Hyarchihi, Kali, Karali, Manojava were all bonsai size, the consorts of fire which were supposed to come out this thing. Then I said, what kind of Purnahuti? Because, and the ghee spoon, the chamas, was just one drop. And after the mantra was said, one drop, one drop, one drop. So it was not messy at all. Nothing fell out. Nothing fell out. And then there was a little dusting pan, sacred dusting pan with a little brush. So there was one brahmachari type person, who novitiate, who was keeping on, any kind of cinders and then embers coming from this was quickly brushed away. And any ghee was quickly wiped away, and nothing fell actually. And then I said, Purnahuti means, in India, they will, for Chandi Homa, they will put a 9 yard sari into the fire. And here, what are they going to do? And then, so then one small 2 inch by 2 inch, slightly bigger than a postage stamp, cloth was brought. Inside, she put one cashew, one raisin, and one almond, and it was nicely tied together and then dipped in a little ghee, and then that she offered in the middle. and and then the yajna was over. But we are not doing that kind of yajna. And that kind of yajna will perhaps, according to the Upanishad anyway, will, even though we appreciate the spirit and the cleanliness of it very much and how cute it looks, it's just so adorable. But it will not even allow you enough punya to go to Indra Loka and catch a selfie with Indra before you are booted down, because it's not, see, the karma phala is commensurate, how much effort has been put. Yeah, there is no effort, just two sticks you take and then light it up. But here we have to, the Indian yajna is a lot of work. And so, after getting exhausted, what it gives, the immediate drishtaphalam, the immediate result is ayasa. Ayasa means exhaustion. After that, you don't want to say the word yajna, you're so exhausted. But then you do it anyway because of the fixation of things that you want in this and afterlife. And then, so these are the people that are being talked about. And then, ye abhinandanti. Ye moodhaha abhinandanti etad eva shreyah. Shreyah means this is the only thing to be done. Karma means this is the only thing to be done. All the time, yajna in, yajna out. Day starts with yajna, day ends with yajna. And yajna here is a metaphor. A metaphor for all karmas in order to get ahead in life. So the messy yajna becomes a metaphor for a messy life filled with, no, a kind of an aimless wandering, wandering into the realm of action and reaction and getting caught up in the loop of action and reaction. That's what the yajna symbolizes. Because now you may argue, who is doing yajna? Nobody is doing yajna. Yes, nobody is doing yajna, all right. But people are definitely doing other forms of karma. People may not be doing religious karma anymore. Nobody is going to church, nobody is going doing yajna, all right, no problem. But in that time, one is on a rat race to fame, name, and acquisitions of all kinds. I want this, I want this, I want this. Okay, you got this. Oh, but that's not enough. That's why in the last class we talked about the three doshas of karma. That which doesn't satisfy, that which puts you in this loop of bondage, all these things we talked about. Because the person who doesn't know this is called mudha. These people are deluded. Deluded, why? Because abhinandanti, they worship this karma. Nowadays, the worship has gone from the temples to action. I cannot leave the job. I cannot do this. This deadline is coming up. So one worships the deadline, one worships the job, one worships all the things that one can get out of it, because one is a workaholic because one wants the results of action, no other reason. Or perhaps because one cannot stand oneself, and that self loath is made into some kind of a it's the self-loath is numbed by all kinds of distractions. So therefore, the this is the problem. Etad shreyah ye abhinandanti moodhaha. Abhinandanti means they worship the karma, they laud the karma. As this is the only thing, they confuse the action in everyday life with the most exalted end called Shreyas, aka moksha. Many people believe, if I do what I'm supposed to do and I have led an honest life, isn't that enough for moksha? They ask. And the answer is what? No. No. And so therefore, this is the moodha. And then what will happen to them? Jara mrityum te punareva apiyanti. Apiyanti, they keep gaining. What do they gain? Jara, old age. Especially if one is so much wedded to action, old age comes quickly. Then, because there is stress and all kinds of diseases, old age comes very, very quickly because one is strung out, one is not able to manage the stress, one is, all the time worried. One is living for breakfast, one takes Pepto. What is Pepto? Pepto Bismol, for that pink liquid for breakfast. This is what happens because you can't eat without that. There is acidity, there is tension. What if, what if, what if? What if I don't do this properly? What if I don't get the promotion? What if, what if? And this what if mentality, well, kya hoga, what will happen, what will happen, what will happen, and this kind of a stress, leads to old age and death. But then, if I don't do karma, then also you will have old age and death. If I don't do this karma, but then what's the difference? Difference is that you are not a moodha. You're not a Buddha, that's the difference. Because you have set your sights elsewhere, you understand that the body is not you. Here, the person is not understood that the body is not himself or herself. Jara mrityum te punah eva abhiyanti punah punah. Again and again, they fall into the trap of karma, karma phala, karma, karma phala. And then, even though, so they are not, even though they want to be infinite, the body is definitely finite. And so this is the this is what it is. So the ignorant people who delight in this kind of a karma or fall repeatedly into decay and death. This is what it is. Jara mrityu, that's what it is. Jara cha mrityu, mrityuhu cha jara mrityum apiyanti punaha punaha. And then the Upanishad does not bite its lips about these people. And about these people, the next two verses wax eloquent about how foolish these people are. अविद्यायामन्तरे वर्तमानाः स्वयं धीराः पण्डितं मन्यमानाः जङ्घम्यमानाः पर्यन्ति मूढाः अन्धेनैव नीयमाना यथा अन्धाः. So this the word mudha continues. Mudhaha. These are the ignorant, deluded people. It's one thing to be ignorant and deluded as well. But it's another thing to not know that one is ignorant and deluded. If you are ignorant and deluded, and you know that you are ignorant and deluded, then you can do something about it. But if one is ignorant and deluded and doesn't know that and thinks the opposite, such are the people that are being discussed in verse number 128. Avidyayam antare. Antare, in the midst of what? Avidyayam, in the midst of ignorance. Vartamanaha, the people who are drowning. Vartamanaha means people who live. But here we can say people who are drowning in the midst of, in the sea of ignorance. What kind of ignorance? Self-ignorance. People who are drowning in the sea of ignorance, but then at the same time thinking Swayam Dhiraha. Oh, we are the most intelligent people because look at all these lazy people who are not doing karma. We are the ones. We are trendsetters. We are charting the way. We are the leaders. And if you look at all the people who are, there are these, what are they called? Some kind of motivational talks. People who are the people who are invited to give motivational talks? Not you, but never you, even though you may have wonderful things to say. Motivational talks are given by successful people within quotes. And who are these successful people? Successful people, according to the prevalent trendy definition, are those people who have managed by some luck to fulfill a lot of their raga dveshas. That is what is considered success. Siddhi. Siddhi means what? Success. Success means what? Success means I have been able to get whatever I want. And I have been able to ward off and keep at bay whatever I don't want. That is the new definition of guru in the modern capitalist era. Those are the people who are invited. And that's why you have that Bill Gates. At least he's doing something wonderful with his money. But there are certain other people, who give because if they want to just save on taxes, they give to a few NGOs and charities, but the rest of the money is making them successful and they have no qualms about it. Yes, this is the way to go. And then they will come, some stock market guru will come and say, this is how I made my money, this is how I'm saving my money, and this is what you have to also do. And then another person will come and say, this is how I started a business, and these are the business leaders this is how I started the business and I am successful and I have some tips for you. This is what it is. And then, so these are the people who are considered extremely successful, and they occupy positions of leadership, and they try to inspire other people as well, so they are looked upon as leaders. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us, yadyad acharati shreshtha tattadeva itaro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Be careful if you are in a position of leadership. Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, you can't just sit and do whatever you want, because people are already looking up to you. You have the responsibility of leading them properly, because the sheep flock mentality people have. They just follow the leader. Because somebody is successful, they follow that person thinking they will also become successful. But that is not the way to go. And so you have to be very, very careful, and you have to be how you are perceived is really important, because if you are perceived as a leader, better straighten up your life and better make correct choices, so that inadvertently you don't influence them, other people who follow you. That's what the Bhagavad Gita cautions in the 3rd chapter. But here, no such thing. These people are thinking we are the best, east or west, and we are the ones that are going to be doing this. And so they are continuing to live in avidya. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha, swayam dhiraha. We are the greatest, and then we are the most intelligent. Panditam manyamanaha. Panditam Manyamana means they think of themselves as Pandit, means this is a kind of a very sarcastic thing. Panditam Manyamanaha means they think of themselves as Pandit without being Pandit. Yeah, without being the Pandit. So they think of themselves as Pandits. Pandit means learned people. We are the most intelligent. We are the go-getters. We are the most learned. Manyamanaha. Like this who think. And then what else? So janghanyamanaha. They janghanyamanaha means troubled and afflicted. They afflicted with all kinds of difficulties which they don't show on the surface, because they have a reputation to maintain. They want to show that their way works, even though it's not working. Their personal lives will be a mess. 10 marriages, 5 divorces, all these things. And then and every day something or the other. And even that they will justify in a certain way. And then that also they try to make it trendy. So Janghamyamanaha means repeatedly troubled by afflictions. It's a frequentative usage. Repeatedly shaken up by afflictions. They keep on going in pariyanti means they go in circles. They go in circles. And who are these people now? Now first, the first line is for the leaders, the second line is for the followers, the mudhaha who are following other mudhas. So the pariyanti mudhaha, they keep going around in circles along with their leaders. And the whole situation is like the blind leading the blind. Andhena eva niyamanaha yatha andhaha. Like the blind leading the blind, these people go around in circles along with their followers. Imagine, the people the people themselves cannot see. And then they have a blind leader and they cannot even see that the leader is blind. And the blind leader says, come on, everybody follow me, follow me. पीछे पीछे आ जाओ. And the blind leader happens to be very clever. And so the blind leader says, catch hold of me. Because the blind leader herself doesn't know where they are going. And they catch hold of me. And then what? The blind leader crashes into a tree. And the blind leader falls and then hurts the forehead. And then all the other people also, they all fall. And then what happens? He gets up and then shakes himself off and then says, that was a test to see how deep your Shraddha was. Come along, let's go. Let's go now. Next, he falls into a ditch, and then and he wails, and all of them also fall. And then he says, see, I'm such a good leader. There was such a terrible ditch. But then you all fell on top of me. So I cushioned your fall. I was the first one to hit the ground. I cushioned your fall. And this way, all these justifications are made. And then, they continue in circles. And we see this clearly in the world. You say, after studying little bit of Vedanta, you meet some friends. What are you doing? Oh, I have retired early. Why? What's wrong with you? Because I want to study Vedanta. They will think you are completely mad. Don't think that you are doing, you don't think that, oh, people will validate me. Nobody will validate. They'll think you're dated. There is no validating, nothing. They'll think, oh, what is wrong? You're a fossil. This is what people used to do in olden times. You have no other work. You're a fossil. You're just so old. You have been petrified. You're just a rock. And here you are studying Vedanta. What for? And you can't write this on your resume. What are your qualifications? I have self knowledge. They're not interested. That if you put I have Atma Jnanam, rest assured you will not get the job. Rest assured. They don't want all that. They want all these things that you can pick up because of your karma and karma phala. You have to be a go-getter, and you even though you are not in this whole thing of the blind leading the blind, you are not in this vortex, in this black hole of leading the blind, you have come out of it. But still, nobody validates because everybody is into this kind of a lifestyle only, the Upanishad says. And then it's not done with it. She's not done with it. The next one also is the same thing. अविद्यायां बहुधा वर्तमानाः वयं कृतार्था इति अभिमन्यन्ति बालाः यत्कर्मिणो न प्रवेदयन्ति रागात् ते नातुराक्षीणलोकाश्च्यवन्ते. च्यवन्ते means they fall. They fall. They fall from where? Kshina chavante. Kshina chavante. Chavante means they fall from all these heavenly realms. So those who are interested in afterlife, they want to secure an afterlife. Afterlife can also mean retirement, okay? That's also a kind of an afterlife. So they want to secure some kind of a safe retirement and safe afterlife after this body is dropped. And then what are they? Bahudha. Bahudha means they have diverse way of going around in the vortex of avidya. One catches the nose, other one goes to the gym, and the third one is jumping up and down, and then the fourth one is a workaholic. Like this, there are many, many modalities. And the fifth one is into what is that? Different kinds of food. You have to eat this kind of food in order to be healthy. Macrobiotic cooking. That means by the time you finish cooking breakfast, it is time for lunch. That's a slow cooking movement. And this was started as a opposition to fast food. Fast food is terrible. It's got additives, don't you know? It's got all these terrible, terrible things for your body. And so what? I mean, America, we have to love because it loves extremes. Fast food, fast foods, fast foods, fast, 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 everything fast, fast. No, no, no. Now I'm into the slow cooking movement. And then what? You spend one day cutting the vegetables. Why? Because everything has to be diamond shaped, because it has to cook evenly, and then, everything has to be nicely. And if it's not the right shape, it has to be trimmed afterwards. And then you get all these diamond shaped cut vegetables. And then after that, it has to be cooked in a certain way. And then you make the tadka means you make the seasonings, okay, with all the seeds. So you put, what is that, you put mustard seeds, and in Bengal they will put methi seeds. Methi means fenugreek seeds and fennel seeds and everything. Like, they have a group of five spices, five kinds of seeds, and then they'll put all these things. And then, you don't just put the seeds, you don't just roast the seeds. First, you say, "Good morning, seed. How are you doing? Hello, seed." And then you chant a little mantra, a bija mantra, because seed mantra for the seed. And after you chant the mantra, then of course you have a little mantra for the oil, which is going to be the carrier for roasting the seeds. And then you have a mantra for the oil. You have the mantra you sing to the seeds, and then and then you sing some bija mantras, and then this thing is wonderful. If you have the time, it is wonderful. It makes you very mindful, it slows you down, and it helps you to just say goodbye to hunger, because what is the use of being hungry? The food will not be ready on time anyway. So it's wonderful. I mean, in small measure, it is wonderful, but of course, it is taken to extremes. So then, by the time lunch is ready, it is breakfast for the next day. That is how it is. And so some people have this kind of a modality. I'm going to cheat Lord Yama through food. Other people, they want to cheat Lord Yama by going to the gym. They think that in the gym, Lord Yama, there is a no entry board. Just like they say, it says in the restaurants, no shoes, no shirt. What is that? No service. In some restaurants, they will put, meaning minimum you have to have shirt and shoes. Yeah, I think pants must be optional, because this is what they say. So no shoes, no shirt, no service. And then people imagine that there is a board on the door of the gym, no Yama. Yama is the minion of death, so no Yama. But Yama has a way of, Yama has different ways. You try to keep him out. He comes in the form of coronavirus. He makes himself into a pandemic and makes himself sarvagata, ubiquitous. So all kinds of ways. Yeah, and who says Yama is not allowed in the gym? The Yama is definitely finds a way to come slip through. Oh, but he doesn't know the code of the lock. He'll be just following you and hugging you. As soon as you go in, he will slip in. That's what he will do. And so, therefore, this is so people who think bodybuilding is the way to cheat death, they are mistaken. They are still floundering in the ocean of avidya. And people who think that, oh, just knowledge of objects is the way to cheat, is the mind. My mind has to be made very strong. And then I keep studying, keep gathering information. Aparavidya, not paravidya, not the knowledge of this Upanishads, etc. Aparavidya. And so I want to gain all these things, and I want to have this. No such luck. And you make the mind strong by over harvesting goji berries, and over harvesting, what is that, ginkgo capsules. And then it doesn't help, does not help. Still, one is floundering in the ocean of avidya. And then, these people, just like the people above who thought we are pandits, vayam kritarthaha, they have said we have whatever we want in life, we have krita, arthaha. Arthaha means whatever we want has been accomplished. Krita. Kritam artham yena. Artha means whatever one wants in life. The goals in life, purusharthas, all the purusharthas have been gained. Vayam kritarthaha iti abhimanyanti balaha. These people, they think, who are these people? Earlier it was mudhaha, now it is balaha, they are children. because of aviveka, no viveka, no reasoning. So these inner children who are now running the show and trying to ward off insecurity and self-loath by plunging themselves into karma are actually plunged into the ocean of avidya and reproducing samsara repeatedly. So, yat karmino na pravedayanti ragat. Ragat means because of the force of their desires. Yat karminaha. Karminaha means people who are into karma, karmin. So these worshippers of karma, karmins, they do not learn the truth of this, of how they are wandering, floundering in avidya. They don't understand this. Why? Ragat, fifth case. Ragat. Na pravedayanti. They don't understand. They don't understand the finitude of karma because of raga. Raga means lot of the pressure of this, of the pressure and the pain of this ways of being. So they grow more and more miserable. Aturaha. Aturaha means they grow urgently miserable, really miserable. They're afflicted. Tena means only because of the force of their desires, they grow miserable. And then Kshina Lokaha, they become Kshina Lokaha, means those for whom the Lokas have come to an end. Even Brahma Loka comes to an end. How has it come to an end? Because the karma and the karma phala is exhausted. Karma being finite, karma phala is also finite. So these people are kshina lokaha, aturaha, karminaha. These are all in apposition. They are all, qualifying karmin. So those karmin means those who are in karma, karma in. Okay, this is the English derivation. So those who are into karma, karminaha, na pravedayanti, they don't understand. They don't understand the simple cause effect that karma is finite, so karma phala is also finite. They do not understand this. Na pravedayanti. Why? Ragat, because they are enslaved by their desires and by the objects of desires which they are really wanting to gain. So afflicted by their own non-gaining of that which they want to gain, afflicted by their desires, these people who are kshina lokaha. Kshina lokaha means for whom the lokas have come to an end. They go to heaven, they enjoy a bungalow, and then what? By the time they have set the living room in order, because oh, this is my bungalow, the sofa should be here. Why is it under the window to get the draft? Let me bring it to the center. I like this kind of an arrangement. As soon as they make the arrangement, Bhagavan has another arrangement for them, because the karma that took them to be able to have enough punya to rearrange their living room in the bungalow called heaven is finished. That karma is finished. Oh, but the little table, the end table, I could not bring. That's why it is called end table, because it's the table that put an end to your good karma. The end table was there. The end. That's why all newborn babies cry, I suppose. Oh no, I didn't finish mowing the lawn. I didn't finish taking care of this. Because the Lord Yama again, who is in charge of putting you on the assembly line of rebirth, comes and says, "Forget the lawn. You just run a lawn, and then be reincarnated." That's all it is. So Chavante means they drop into the world of Martyaloka. The Bhagavad Gita also says that. Bhagavad Gita also has this in the 9th chapter. Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam kshine loke martyalokam vishanti. Te tam bhuktva, having enjoyed the vast vistas and the views and the enjoyments therein of heaven. Swargalokam Vishalam, the vast regions of heaven having enjoyed. Kshine Punye, when the Punya goes away. Just like when you go to Europe and then what? The euros run out and all the travelers' checks run out. That means it's time to come back. No more. And even if you say if you say no, I have a small budget. There are these all these kinds of vacations for small budget people. Couch surfing. This is actually a thing. So it's not Airbnb. That's very costly. Even one room in Europe, it's going to be very, very costly. So this is called couch surfing, meaning I just want your sofa. And you think so far so good. It's not, because you know it may be lumpy, it may be clumpy, it may have all kinds of problems there. You don't know what this is, and so you borrow somebody's sofa. And some of these couch surfing things are free because you give up your sofa to other strangers who will come and sleep on your sofa, and then in return you get their sofa. And then you say, okay, this is very cheap. But even the cheapest vacation, you can shower at the YMCA, and you can and some youth hostel, and then what? You can sleep on somebody's couch. But still, and sometimes the couch has sea silent. It is not a couch, it's ouch, because it's full of springs and no mattress. That's a surprise that has sprung up, which you have no control over, because you have arrived there at 10 p.m. You can't change anything. And so you have to be there. And then, even though you have this, what is that, shoestring budget vacation, but still, that also runs out. That also runs out. It's time to get back. Rail pass runs out. Couch surfing finished. Everything, whether it's couch surfing or ouch surfing, finished. It's all runs out, runs out, runs out. And then what? And then you also have to come back. So just like in this loka, you have to come back. Same rule follows other lokas. Chandogya Upanishad says, if the universe, since the universe is just one truth, it's got Sat behind it. It's just come from that one Sat alone. So that means what? You know, just like yatha ihaloke, in this world, karma chito lokak punya chito lokak kshiyate. Tat tatha amutra punya chito lokak kshiyate. So here, just like the karma and karma phala are exhausted. Like you stay in a hotel, you have paid up for one night, and then 12 o'clock at Abhijit Muhurtam, even though it's very auspicious, you are kicked out. You are kicked out if you don't pay up. That's why they take your credit card even before they give you the card to the room that opens the room. So that they can distinguish. Supposing you have blocked your credit card or it doesn't have money, you will be kicked out. So this is how the cause and consequence works in this world. Same way it works in the world in heaven as well, and in afterlife. This is what the Chandogya Upanishad points out. Yad yatha karmachito loka kshiyate iha. Punyachito loka kshiyate amutra. Elsewhere, the world that is crafted by punya, the entry into this world is by the little measly currency of karma phala that you have, that also will get exhausted. And just like how you don't know how, sometimes what happens, you go into some website, and then some sneaky website. And what does it do? You just buy one thing, but then there is a small print. Would you like a subscription? It is in tiny, tiny print. And then you don't know what, you have checked, or even without checking sometimes. And then you spent only 9.99, and then every month it is taking out 9.99 sneakily without your knowledge. It takes you a few months to say, no, 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 I don't want this 9.99. And then you have to go through a whole of rigmarole to cancel. So here also in heaven, you thought a friend invited you to for some kind of yaksha's music concert, but then a lot of punya has been drained. Not the friend's punya, your own punya has been drained without you knowing it. And so this way, all the punya you think you have is not sufficient to make you infinite, because infinite you already are. You already are. And this is something that has to be known. So the Upanishad is giving us aversion therapy. After you read this portion, the idea is you will say, enough, 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 alam, alam. I'm now back to Jnanam. I do not want all these finite things. I'm back to Jnanam. This is what the idea is. Now, the Upanishad is not done. One more verse is there, and we will just see the meaning and then look at it in detail next time. Ishtapurtam manyamana varishtham nanyachreyo vedayante pramudhaah nakasya prishthe te sukrute nubhutva imam lokam heenataram va vishanti. This describes the lot of the people who have done a lot of karma, but without wisdom. And even though they have, even though they have been repeatedly told this is a dead end, no end situation, they have not listened. And so they are the people who manyamanaha. They think. What do they think? Ishtapurtam varishtham. Varishtham, most superior. You know, Varishtha means the most superior. What is the most superior? Ishta Purtam. Ishtakarma. Ishtakarma means sacrificial rites. And like yajna, puja, etc. Parayana, any kind of sacrificial karma, rites, with these yajnas, etc. Then Purta karma means, these charitable actions. Purta karma. Purta karma is defined as such in the Dharma Shastra. Vapi kupa tadakadi devatayatanani cha annapradhanamaramascha purtam ityabhidhiyate. That is called purtam, which comprises the following activities. Vapi, you dig a well. You don't dig a well for yourself. You dig a well so that a particular community will have water. They are too poor to afford a bore well and then do this, you dig a well for them. Vapi, Vapi Kupa, another kind of well. So Vapi Kupa, bodies of water. And then, like a pond, Vapi, if you want, and then Kupa, well. Tadakam. Tadakam means it's a kind of a watering hole for animals. Animals also need water. So you need a watering hole for animals. In the Anekatti ashram, you have visitations of elephants and wild elephants. And then they come in search of water. And actually, when Pujya Swamiji was there, he had commissioned a watering hole. Of course, watering hole for elephants cannot be, like a small little hole, because elephants need a lot of water. They are huge. So that was, once that was constructed, then they stopped harassing the people around, and they stopped even their visits to the ashram also became very rare. So Vapi, Kupa, Tadakam, Adi means other such bodies of water, ponds, lakes, all these things you construct, human-made ponds and lakes. And then Devata Yatanam, building of a temple. Annapradhanam, giving of food to the needy. Aramascha, constructing places to stay for people who are going on a pilgrimage. Or even chatralayas, etc. You have places for students to stay as they are studying. This is what Aim for Seva is doing. And so you have places to stay for the children, and you construct temples. You construct, these, in the olden times, they used to construct these free, what are they called? Places to stay, where on the way to, you could go from Rameshwaram in the south, all the way up to Vaishno Devi, Shakti Pitha in Kashmir. You could go without paying anything if you didn't have money. You could just stay in these free dharmashalas. There you could stay in these free things which the people earlier had constructed. Some business people, they would have constructed. Even now you can do that. You just have to know where to find these. And then you stay there, and then if you can afford something, you pay it forward. You have already, your stay is already taken care of. If you can leave a donation, you leave a small donation, whatever it is there. So some food will come. One packet of curd rice and one packet of sambar rice is assured. Or in the north, some chapati sabji is assured. And you can't say, oh, what about room service? No, you have to stand in line and take the packet. But your food is taken care of. At least one meal you can eat at the temple. One meal is taken care of, and then you just go like this on yatra. You go on a pilgrimage. So these are all the people who provide all these things. Arama means place to stay, and then Anna Pradana, food, donation of food. This is all is called Purta Karma. So here are a bunch of people. The Upanishad says they think this is the end of life. This is the most superior thing we have done. Earlier, those people were called mudhas. These are pramudhas. Pramudhas means mudhas among mudhas. More we'll see next time in 2 weeks. What is that? 16th October. Okay? All right. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Thank you.
Thank you, Swami.
Thank you. Take care.